Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm your girl D-Mac.
Hey, let's talk about a girl. She's a real fine thing. She's divine. We're talking about demons. She's a real fine thing. She's divine. We're talking about demons.
I hope you guys are all doing well, and I hope that you guys watched my last episode on my motherhood journey. That was a great video. I absolutely loved recording that video, and today is the day. Today's the day. I'm going to talk to you guys about my labor and delivery and everything that happened. So if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so that every time I post a video, you are to be notified. So my labor and delivery story is actually funny, but very traumatizing at the same time. So I'm just gonna walk through the dates. So this is January 28th at like 7 a.m. No, actually at like 3 a.m. So while I was pregnant, I couldn't sleep as much. I would probably sleep for like 4 hours every night. It was traumatizing because I like to sleep. If you know me, you know I be sleeping. So the fact that I was lacking sleep, it really sucked. But this day, my parents had gone to Cleveland because my brother had a game, I think. And my sister doesn't live with me anymore. She lives in LA. And so anyways, it was just me and my bestie at my house. She was at my house. And at 3 a.m., I was watching labor and delivery videos. I'm like, oh my gosh, excited but scared and nervous. And this is 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5, 6 o'clock. I'm getting tired. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go to bed. Guys, I had to pee. And a pregnant woman, when she has to pee, she cannot hold her pee. So I woke up and like was waddling to my washroom. And I used the washroom and I came back to go back to sleep. Where I went back to my bed to go back to sleep. And when I'm telling you, I felt a rushing, like I gotta go back to pee. And I'm like, I gotta go pee again. I just went to go pee. So I was laying down and I got up and my water broke. My water broke. Oh my goodness. And so I remember just standing still and was like, oh my gosh, did this just happen? So I remember calling my daughter's father and was like, hello, I think my water broke. And he was like, are you sure? Because you be missing the toilet. And I'm like, no. My water broke. And mind you, he wasn't even in the city either. So it was just me, myself, and my best friend. And because he was half awake, half asleep, mind you, it's 7 a.m. So I decided to go upstairs. And I was still in disbelief. I went upstairs and I called my friend. I was like, Felicity. And she was like, what happened? And if you know her, she was like, what? Like panicking. And I'm like, I think my water broke. And she was like, what? And she zoomed downstairs. I'm like, girl, I can show you proof. So I showed her proof of my puddle on the carpet. And she's like, girl, your water did break. So now I'm really panicking. And I called my mother. And mind you, she's in the States. This is 7 a.m. And so I'm calling her on WhatsApp, because Africans be on WhatsApp. So I called her on WhatsApp. I think I called my mom 8 times. I called her. Called her. She wasn't answering. I'm like, aujourd'hui je vais mourir. So then Felicity, she was calling my father. So we're both calling the parents. Nobody's answering. So finally my dad calls back. He's like, my dad. He's like, is everything okay? You guys called me several times. And we're like, I said, Dad, I think my water broke. And my mom's name is Khadijah. So he was like, Khadijah, we gotta go. Divine's water broke. And mind you, they were so far away. They were all the way in Cleveland. And so everybody's panicking. They're panicking where they were. My daughter's father was panicking where he was. Me and Felicity are panicking in the house. Everybody was panicking. So finally, I was still so in disbelief that Felicity had to pack my bag. And luckily, my daughter's bag was already packed. So she's packing my bag. She's telling me, okay, Devon, do you need this and that? And I was just like, I don't even know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. So I remember changing into some clothes. And then my sister's godmother called me and was like, Devine, are you okay? What's going on? I'm like, my water broke. And she's like, okay, you guys have to head to the hospital now. I remember my OBGYN, which is my doctor, she told me that if my water does break, that I have to call her office. But she's closed on the weekends. This was a Sunday, Sunday morning. And so we rushed to the hospital. My hospital was North York General. So we rushed to the hospital. And, and then my sister's godmother joined me, and obviously Felicity was already there. So I go over there, and they were like, okay, you need to go to labor and delivery over there. So we went, and they were like, are you okay? What's the problem? You were here 2 weeks ago. I'm like, yeah, well, my water broke. And then they were like, okay, we're gonna go check. So there was like 3 doctors checking with a swab. So if they swabbed my water, if they swabbed my cervix and they saw that it was blue, then my water did break. If it was just yellow, then it was just my mucus plug. And so the mucus plug has to come out. It's a whole thing. So then the swab was like yellow and blue. And so the nurses were like, I remember being like, oh my gosh, this kid, like she was supposed to come out in February. It is not time yet. And so the doctor came back to me and was like, hi, Divine, we're going to have to send you home because the swab came out like, it's like, we don't know what to do. I'm looking at the doctor like, what do you mean you don't know what to do? Huh? He's like, yeah, just go home and you can come back in a couple of days if anything changes. My sister's godmother was like, so whatever. I got up, and as soon as I got up, my water broke again. So I went to go tell the doctor, hey, my water broke again. And he's like, you know what? I don't think they're going to change their minds. I think you should just go home. So my godmother was like, you know what, Divine, we're not going to go home because the hospital is so far away from the house. So we went to the lobby, and she was like, you know what, Divine, to like speed up the process here, we're going to go up and down the stairs. So I didn't even know North York General had 9 flights of stairs. I didn't know. So we went up and down the stairs. She made me go up 9 flights of stairs twice. And every time I went up a staircase, I was contracting really bad. Really, really bad. Like I was contracting really, really bad. So then finally, my sister's godmother was like, you know what, Divine, just keep walking around the hospital. And as soon as we were gonna walk further in the hospital, we got a call from them. from the people upstairs. So they were like, "Hi, this is labor and delivery. Is this Divine?" And I was like, "Yeah." And her name was Ashley. She's like, "It's Ashley. Can you come back upstairs? We just want to do another assessment on you." Girl. So then I went back upstairs to labor and delivery. And she was like, "You can go back to the room that you were in." The room that I was in still had my wet pads on the bed, and it had my puddle on the floor. So I remember telling her, "Can you guys change at least the sheets on the bed, and my puddle is still on the floor?" And she's like, "Your puddle?" I said, "Yeah, my water broke again." She's like, "What?" And nobody told me. So she took the same swab, well, another one, but she took a swab to test it on the floor, like to put it on the puddle, to see if it was gonna turn blue. And it did. Very blue, very much blue. And she said to me, "Oh my gosh, Divine, we need to admit you." That's when I knew everything was real. I might give birth today. And mind you, I was feeling contractions, but they were like 45 minutes apart. So I was like, yeah, this is nothing. So they admit me. I changed into my robe. They were like, "This is your room." I was a little bit upset because where's the TV? If I have to stay here for a long time, I need a TV. There was nothing in that room. So shortly after, my mom and dad, they arrived to the hospital, and my daughter's father, he arrived as well. So everybody was arriving at the same time. Anyways, now time is just flying. We're just waiting, and the nurses was like, "You have to wait maybe 3 weeks at the hospital," because I was 35 weeks, and you're supposed to, a full-term baby is 40 weeks, but I was 35. And which I was happy about, because, well, not happy, but I was happy because my water broke rather than me being induced. And so they made me wait. We waited for something to happen, like if my contractions were going to be like close enough to determine whether or not I was having a kid that day. And then it went from 45 minutes to every half an hour, and they weren't as strong still. And then it went from every half an hour to every 15 minutes. So I was like, I'm starting to feel something. I'm starting to feel something. At like 6 p.m., I'm like, It went from 15 to 10 minutes. And then I was like, okay, this is a lot, but I could still handle it. And then when it was every 5 minutes, child, hey, my God, it was the worst pain ever. When I'm telling you, those contractions, I thought period pain. Oh, my period. Contraction is no joke. So when I was contracting, it was like every 5 minutes to every 4 minutes now, 3 to 4 minutes. They were very, very bad. Very, very bad. So mind you, it's 6 p.m., very, very bad, whatever. Now it's 7 p.m. and I was like, like crying, like yelling. If you know me, you know I'm very calm. That day I was like, like holding my mom's hand, holding my daughter's father's hand. Like I was just like, like please. It was really bad. And so then the doctor came in and she was like, "Oh my gosh, you look like you need an epidural." And mind you, way before I had told my mom, I want to go all natural. You know, I don't want to do no epidural. Oh girl, I changed my mind when I was feeling those contractions. It was really bad. It was really, really bad. So Then she was like, I'm gonna check your cervix to see how far you're dilated. And that scared me because I know some women, they don't dilate fast during their laboring, you know? And I was like, I don't wanna be those people that I don't wanna have a C-section. Like, no, like, I salute every woman that had a C-section, but I just didn't want that for myself. I'm like, no, 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 no. I don't want it. It just scared me, the thought of having a C-section. I'm like, no, no, no. So when she checked my cervix, I was 4 centimeters dilated. I remember me and my daughter's father looking at each other like, 4 centimeters? Woo, we're getting somewhere. And the doctor was like, do you want an epidural? I said yes. Then they were like, well, we're gonna do it right now. And then I was so scared because I was contracting, but the doctor told me that I couldn't move. I could not move even if I was contracting because I could get paralyzed. That scared me. Like, literally, that scared me. I was terrified. So I took the epidural. I was contracting, but I really was like, you know what? I'm stronger than I think. And I took it like a G. My epidural worked so fast. As soon as it went in my body, I could not feel anything. I was so relaxed after that. I was probably like, Return of the Mac. I was myself again. I was like, this and nothing. The pain goes away, the pressure doesn't. The pressure was getting worse. It was really bad. But I could still talk to people, you know what I mean? So at 8 o'clock, I was 4 centimeters dilated. At 10 p.m., they had to come back every 2 hours. 10 p.m., I was 8.5 centimeters dilated. And I was like, oh my gosh, this girl wants to come out quick. And we were like, okay, we're getting somewhere. And then I was sleeping. I was able to nap. And then she didn't come back for a while. I think I really was chilling. And then it was like 2:05 a.m. And she's like, we're going to check your dilation again. And one thing about these doctors is that they just, anyways, they checked my cervix and they were like, yep, you're 10 centimeters, girl. It's time. You got to start pushing. I said, oh, snap. She coming now. And so I started pushing. Like, I think I did like a good 50 minutes. I pushed. And 50 minutes later, my daughter came out. She came out and she cried like this. And that was it. I'm like, aren't babies supposed to cry a little bit longer? And she cried a little bit. And then I looked at her and she looked just like her daddy. And I remember telling myself, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did this. It was traumatizing. I was in a lot of pain. I will never take period pain for granted ever again, because that was stressful. And but for my daughter, I will do it all over again. So worth it. She is a gem. Absolutely love her. I'm in love with her. And she's a preemie, so she was very, very tiny, but very calm. And she was just like, her eyes were already open. Like, she was like, where am I? And the room, it was a little bit dark. It's a little bit bright in here. Yeah. Well, I'm assuming that's what she was thinking. And then I had a tear. I had a 2nd-degree tear. So they had to stitch me up, unfortunately. But besides that, after that, my healing process was fine. You know, obviously, it did hurt. It was overwhelming, but I had great support from my parents, my community, my friends, but also my daughter's father. And it was just an amazing experience. But It was an eventful day, I'm not gonna lie. And the fact that everybody was away, I called it. I said, I feel like my water's gonna break and nobody's gonna be around. And that's exactly what happened. So, anyways, I hope I summed up this story as much as I could. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I hope you guys are not afraid of having a baby if you're pregnant. Don't be afraid. You will be fine. You are great. You're strong. You're going to do it. You're going to do well. Okay? So anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. And make sure to like. Make sure to comment as well if you're enjoying Motherhood series. Until next time. Bye.